In 1974, Chicago radio broadcaster Studs Terkel published a best-selling compilation of interviews with a cross-section of American workers talking about their jobs.
Terkel described it as the extraordinary dreams of ordinary people.
These are their words.
Every load is a challenge. And when you finally offload it, you get a feeling
like
you completed the job.
Holding out a tambourine.
I don't think you get it for that kind of situation.
And I like
Put it
people.
down.
I really do.
Every load is
I feel like flying around the world.
And then finally offload it, you get a feeling you completed the job.
When they just
Man,
come
why
to
would you get outside of the tank?
pick it up,
Man, what do you say inside the tank?
you know how
Pick it up. Put it down. Everything you get out of
common in a way, like a gypsy holding out a tambourine.
Put it down.
From soda pop to a genuine pearl and a can of oysters, and I know the codes for every one of them. On the register, there's a little book with all the codes. I never look at it.
dying breed. A laborer, strictly muscle work. Pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. Typically in the morning, you wait up at the shanty till 7 o'clock. You go in at 7, you start walking your way up the ladder, climbing up the steel. Every 2 floors, you plank it off. Then you pick up the bottom of the mast tied to the boom on top of the choking cable. Then you pick up the other side and do the same thing again. I started working structural steel when I was 18 years old. I worked on towers probably 1,000 feet high. Most people are afraid of heights like that, so automatically every iron worker has an ego. You're doing something someone else can't do, and you get to wear a tool belt. When you're a kid 18 years old and you got the wrenches in like a holster, you're a cowboy. But I always knew I was going to be an iron worker. My older brothers were iron workers and my father was an iron worker, so it was a natural course of events. My father was very disappointed I didn't go to college. We had a college boy with us this summer. One time he saw a book in my back pocket and he was amazed. He says to me, "You read?" That's what can get to you. The non-recognition by other people. To say a man is just a laborer, a woman is just a waitress, it bothers you sometimes. Some mornings I look across the skyline for a building I worked on. Say, that office building over there. You see that building? I helped build it. And I know some guy sitting in his corner office behind his $5,000 desk, and he's never going to think about me. But yeah, I think about him sometimes.
It's on your desk.
Why is it not in my hand?
I'm a project manager. I'm here at work at 7:30 a.m. and I leave at 8 p.m. In between my meetings, I answer messages and emails and try to avoid my boss. You always have a boss. Sometimes you have an okay boss and sometimes you have a Satan boss. He's not behind me, is he? I wish these walls were like a little higher. I've been in all different types of cubes. I've been in the full height cubes, I've been in the half height cubes. Listen, the way things are today, I'm happy to be in any cubicle at all. I have friends who would kill for this job, for any job.
I paper the walls of my cubicle with posters. I bring in fresh flowers and I brought in my favorite ceramic lamp. And these little things on my computer, I call them computer gods. I guess I have more decorations than I thought, but when you're in a cubicle, things like glow-in-the-dark skeletons go a long way.
Sharing a cubicle is sort of like sharing a bathroom stall. See, it doesn't matter how tall the sides are or how big it is. You're still in there with someone else, in a not sexy way.
I can see the programmer in the cubicle next to me through the reflection in the window. Sometimes I can see what she's doing. Quite often, she's emailing jokes to her sister. I also acquired a webcam. I set it up so it points behind me. So if someone comes, I can see them.
I grew up expecting I'd get out of college and make $1 million. I grew up expecting someone just to deliver a Mercedes to my front door. It's been quite a rude awakening. For the first time in 4 generations, I'm worse off than my parents.
Jobs are not big enough for people. When you ask most people who they are, they define themselves by their jobs. I'm a doctor, I'm a sportscaster, I'm a carpenter. When someone asks me, I say, I'm Amanda McKenney. And at certain points in time, I do things for a living. My mentality is totally different from the people who are 20 years older, the lifers. I have no real sense of loyalty because I know they have a business to run, and they'll lay me off if they think it's prudent. I accept that. I don't perceive that anyone my age thinks I've got a job for life. How they feel is, okay, I'm going to learn as much as I can from this company, and then I'm going to move to make more money. This is the first job of many.
This is my first job. I smell like a burger. The register is easy. Hey, you want a burger? I hit the picture of the burger. Every day McNugget quarter pounder. And I wait for that phone to ring, that phone to ring, the phone at the end of the counter. When I see the manager writing down an order, when I see the manager making change, when I see the manager writing an address and whispering, yes, give me some change, send me on my way. I'm off on a delivery, and the whip is in my hand. No one's watching. Well, food is getting cold, and so I'll do as I am told. Responsibilities, I have responsibilities. I go to work every day, I'm putting money away. Hey, you know what they say, slow and steady. I may be minimum wage, that's pretty good for my game, but my big man is safe. I'll be ready to go wherever I gotta go. Whoever listens needs me. For now the restaurant needs me and my family needs me. Deliver! The customer is always right. Thanks for getting me out of the house tonight. I keep the order straight. I say sorry if I'm late. I'm at the napkin for your plate for making you wait. That'll be $12.98 for your delivery. I wander out of train toward the future new and great. Job is just the start, but wait, I haven't told you my favorite part. It's when they pay, and then they say,
fuck it, keep the change.
Keep the change. Keep the change. Keep the change. Keep the change. And if I bid, I keep the change. If I save a little every day, it's not gonna live when you go away.
I'm a guy who likes to work. Some people enjoy tennis. I enjoy working. I like being a leader. I like having people work for me. In our world of money, money management is still the hottest job there is. Just ask any chick at the East Bank Club. Money is hot. True story. They did a study and found that just looking at a Maserati made girls produce twice as many hormones as usual. Oh yeah. Call me a shallow douchebag, corporate tool, friggin' robber baron. I take it as a compliment. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's what this country's about. Free market. It's not perfect, but if they would leave it alone, it would sure as hell correct itself better than any regulator can. Oh yeah. Some companies will go away, some people will lose jobs. Hell, some people will lose money. Just basic capitalism. Who built America? The SEC? The regulators? Or was it the Rockefellers, the Mellons? I mean, tell me what they did bad. Sure, Rockefeller exploited some miners in the copper fields. He shot a few of them. Fine. Not perfect. But Standard Oil is still around, isn't it? Mellon's Bank is still here for us. Listen, how many charities were started by these people? How many theaters, museums, national parks are here for us to enjoy, thanks to these robber barons? These were the giants that built our cities, that built our country. If you can't have losers, you can't have winners. Hold on. I gotta take this. Oh yeah. Give me 5 minutes. Yeah, okay. Listen, I'm gonna have to cut this short. I need to get back on the phone before the markets close overseas. Everybody works long hours these days. Kid wants to make it, he's got to be able to put in long hours. He's also got to be able to outsmart the regulators to make a profit. Christ, it's easy. If you can't outsmart one petty government officer, you shouldn't come to work in the morning. I should be their teacher, you know? That's what I'm going to do when I get tired of all of this. Involve myself with young people. Pass on my knowledge, my experience, my values.
Good morning, Hernando. How are you today? Good morning, Selena. I've missed you. In your heart, you may have a certain dislike for a child, but you force yourself to say, "Good morning, Manuel." Manuel. Somebody forgot to take his Ritalin this morning. My name is Rose Hoffman. I teach 3rd grade. At 9:15, I enter my classroom. I put arithmetic up on the board. It's tables fun. Not tables, but tables fun, because everything has to be fun. Yes, you may go. Back when I started teaching about 40 years ago, I had 18 to 20 kids in my classroom who came from beginning bell to the very end. Today, I have 37 kids in my classroom who come in and play with their cell phones and then leave for computer lab, art therapy. Yes, I have seen many great changes since I began teaching about 40 years ago. January 6th, 1976. Back then, my students were primarily Polish, and I loved the Polish. They worked hard. My classroom was always a showcase. In those days we did it ourselves, with colorful pictures and charts on the wall, a snowman in winter, a pumpkin in fall, and all my supplies were in neat little piles on the shelves. My children were always respectful. When the principal came, they would rise. If I had to leave for a minute or two, they always found something constructive to do, and everyone sat in their places according to size. But kids don't know how to behave anymore. Ask them to rise and they'll ask you, "What for?" We confiscate weapons and drugs at the door. No spitballs and comic books now. They want me to teach in a classroom like that, but nobody tells me how. Back then, we actually taught English. Hard to believe. But today, we teach other things. We don't teach English as a second language. When my parents first came around, we didn't teach Jewish as a first language, but back then, things were different. We had the paddle. Yes, I'm a big believer in corporal punishment. It builds respect and trust. I made a big deal about spelling, but they learned by the time I got through. They practiced the words till they knew them by heart. 10 times for the dumb ones and twice for the smart. And gold stars were given to those who made sentences too. But why bother teaching them spelling today when nobody knows how to read? Anyway, how can you spell when you can't even say habla Espanol now? The way I've been teaching for There's this one girl I remember in all my years of teaching. She wasn't very bright, but she wasn't any trouble either. I see her every once in a while. She has the same smile for everyone.
The first 2 months I started flying, I'd already been to London, Paris, and New York, which is pretty huge when you're from Kankakee, Illinois. But once you've been working for the airlines for a while, it turns out it's not as glamorous as you thought it was going to be. I mean, people can be pretty nasty. I mean, this one time I was working first class and we had a load full of passengers, and the captain says that we're gonna have to make an emergency stop in Chicago because there's a pin loose in nose gear. Anyway, he wants me to prepare the cabin for this landing, but not for another 2 hours. And I can't tell any of the other flight attendants because they're new and they get all excited about it. So I had this in me for 2 hours. And I'm wondering, am I gonna die today? And I'm serving food and drinks and some guy's yelling at me because his omelet's too cold? I almost turned to him and said, "You just wait, buddy. You're not gonna have to worry about that fucking omelet." I mean, it's not like I expect the passengers to be super happy and polite. I mean, they're harassed by security and then they get delivered to us, and your shining personality can only go so far. But still, I expect a little bit of courtesy. When I told my parents that I was going to be a flight attendant, they were so excited. They thought it was so great that I could have the drive, the ambition to go out into the big city and try and achieve something. Really, I just wanted to get out of Kankakee.
If you're looking for a thrill, there's no comparison. Not even to a jet plane. To climbing into that steel truck and going down the Dan Ryan Expressway. The minute you climb into that truck, you forget about the kids and wife you just kissed goodbye. The adrenaline starts pumping. Breaker number 9, big buddy, put your ears on for me now. Big trucker, gotta have a big life. So come on, brother trucker, you gotta come back, mother. Keep seeing double, left side close, one eye. I got to roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm ashamed about the shape I'm in. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm bound from South End. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back on my wheels again. I'm running out of white.
Goddamn them, those headlights.
Or I'm asleep in the last 2 nights. But I'm gonna be alright. I got to roll, 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 brother trucker. Stay where and I stay away. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back it up and do it again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back on my wheels again. You're gone for 1 week, 2 weeks, picking up a load at one port, delivering it to another. You sit in that truck. Your only companionship is your thoughts. You don't want to get stuck thinking about your problems at home. So you turn up the radio, loud enough to hear over the engine if you can. Yeah, we truckers fantasize something tremendous. Think about the girl behind that voice. You start to build something up in your head. You almost begin to believe it. Moon over New Jersey, big state police. I'm in a hurry. Won't you let me go in peace? I'm independent. I ain't got no teeth to do. Cause the AFL and the CIO, they still don't own the road. And the only man telling me where to go sort of a letdown. She has to take care of the kids, fight off the tax collectors. Can't even count on her own husband to be home for communion and graduation. And when you do get home, you'd rather be sleeping than getting ready to go out on Saturday night. I make 2 round trips past Evansville, pass within 4 blocks of my house and don't go home. It's easier to just keep on going. So you call the wife. You tell her you're not gonna make it. Hey, honey, hello? Effing phone company.
Verizon Tech Support, this is Johnny. How may I help you?
Hey, yeah. I have like 5 bars, and this line isn't working.
I'm sorry you're having trouble, sir. May I have the number you were calling?
Yeah, 219-765-5910.
I'm sorry, sir. All circuits in your area are busy.
What? Can't understand a word you're saying. Jesus, what's wrong with you guys?
I'm sorry, sir. Why don't you wait 5 minutes, then try placing your call again. You think they'd be grateful, getting a live person instead of a computer. Sometimes you really want to talk to them if they sound upset. For me, it's a temptation to say, gee, what's the matter? But you can't say more than, I'm sorry you're having trouble. Get caught talking to a customer, that's 1 mark against you. 3 marks and... One woman said to me, operator, I'm lonesome. Will you talk to me? I said, gee, I'm sorry. I just can't. You just can't. I'm a communications person, and I can't communicate.
So, I always thought of a receptionist as the loser at the front desk taking phone messages. Now I'm one. So, of course, I had to change my opinion. She had to be special, right? Because I'm so special. I was fine until we had this office party. I'd be having a fairly intelligent conversation with someone when they'd ask me what I did. When I'd say, I'm a receptionist, they'd make some excuse and walk away. So now, I make up other names for what I do. Communications control. Entry management. I'm tired at the end of the day.
You get
tired
of
talking. There isn't a 10-minute break in the day that's quiet.
For 6
You
hours
can't
straight,
think.
10-minute break.
What I do all day is I say what I have to say as quickly as possible and then switch the call to whoever it's going to.
You're in a room
I
the
notice
size of a
people have asked me to
gymnasium,
slow down when
surrounded
I'm
by people, talking to people thousands of miles away.
I never listen in on a phone conversation.
Do I listen in on conversations?
But let me tell you, some people really do. I once worked for AT&T and all the girls used to listen in on phone conversations. I don't care who you are. If you work nice and it's real quiet, you're going to listen in on a phone conversation.
It makes the night go faster.
Sometimes, to make the day go faster, I'll do drawings, Mondrian sort of things, never people. I pretend I'm alone and things are quiet. I call it the land of no phone. I never answer the phone at home.
Hello? Oh, I'm sorry, no thank you. My husband gets the paper at the office and I read it online. No, I don't have an office, I don't work. I work, of course I work. It's just, I don't have a job. Anyway, thanks for the offer. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I guess in my Mother's Day, they would have called me a housewife. That's funny. It's not like I sit around watching soap operas all day. I have a lot of work to do. You just want something more exciting to talk about at a dinner party, you know? You know, something that matters. What I do only matters to 3 people. All I am is just a housewife. Nothing special, nothing great. What I do is kinda boring. If you'd rather, it can wait. All I am is someone's mother. All I am is someone's wife. All of which seems unimportant. All it is just my life. Do the laundry, wash the dishes, take the dog out, clean the house, shop for groceries, look for specials. God, it sounds so Mickey Mouse. Drop the kids off, pick the shirts up, try to lose weight, try again. Keep the troops fed, pick their things up, use your patience, count to 10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All I am is just a housewife, just a housewife, nothing great. What I do is out of fashion, what I feel is out of date. All I am is someone's mother, right away I'm not too bright. What I do is unfulfilling, so the TV talk shows tell me every night. I don't mean to complain at all, but they make you feel like you're 2 feet tall when you're just a wife, just a housewife. They see you're the pots and pans and the Pepsi cans in a person's life. You're a reason you go to work, but you're just a jerk if you say you won't. Just a housewife. People say that they think it's fine if the choice is mine, but you know they don't. What I do, what I choose to do, may be dumb to you, but it's not to me. Is it dumb that they need me there? Is it dumb to care? 'Cause I do, you see.
And I mean, did you ever think, really stop and think, what a job it was? Doing all the things that a housewife does.
I'm afraid it's unimpressive.
All I am is someone's mother.
Nothing special. What I do is unexciting.
Kind, I
Take the kids here, take the kids there. I don't mean to complain at all. Busy, busy.
All I am is
like my mother.
All I am is
Just a housewife. You can't just jump up behind someone and scream.
Sorry.
It's all right, thank you.
Sorry, man. Thank you, man. You have to make excitement for yourself. No? Is that Bob? Where is he? Where is he? I've been bit once already by a Doberman. That's the biggest part of a dog's day, when the UPS man comes. So when nobody's looking, you kick him down the street. Even if he just follows you, you get him for the one you missed a couple of houses back. That's the big subject of conversation with us, dogs, and women. If you have yourself a nice-looking babe, that sort of brightens your day. We have a code we put in the system. We put a Q. That stands for cutie. If you see a nice little honey laying on her stomach in a 2-piece bathing suit with their top strap undone, and you scare her good enough, she'll jump up. It gives you something to do. It adds excitement to the day. UPS!
working girl. The press calls me a socialite, which is just another name for a well-dressed fundraiser. To me, fundraising is like candy. You get to talk with fascinating people and promote causes you love. What could be more delicious than that? I began about 10 years ago. I gave a party for AIDS babies. But fundraising is work. It's hard to separate people from their money. There is finesse to approaching a potential donor. I never bring up money when I first meet someone. It's not like it's a secret. I mean, they know I'm there. But sometimes I like to see just how long I can go without asking for a gift. Call me a tease. The other day, I was riding around New York City in a limousine during a hotel strike, and there was nowhere to go. And I thought, now I know what it feels like to be a bag lady. I mean, you can't just pick up every homeless person off the street and take them home with you. But if you can say something entertaining, it brings a light into their eyes. Maybe that's what the word social light means.
Sorry, I need to be over there really quickly. Sorry.
I work in a luggage factory. We make suitcases. The tank I work at is 6 foot square, 8 foot deep, and in 40 seconds...
You have to take the wet felt out of the felter and put the blanket on to draw out the excess moisture.
Wait 2-3 seconds. Take the blanket off, pick the wet felt up, and balance it on your shoulder.
Reach over, grab the hose, spray the inside of this copper screen.
Turn around, walk to the hot dry bag behind you. Take the hot piece off and set it on the floor. Put the wet piece on the dry bag. Push this button. Inspect the piece of district
40 seconds.
In the summertime, the temperature in the workstation ranges from 100 to 150 degrees. I've taken thermometers and checked it out. Sometimes, and I have arthritis in the joints of my fingers and naturally my shoulder balancing that wet piece. Sometimes the hose will leak and spray back on you, and the hydraulic presses are also leaking, so you're just slipping on oil, and you have the possibility of being burnt every time that hot dye hits that wet felt. You're just engulfed in this burning cloud of steam every 40 seconds.
Only daughter. I took up with a no-good Milwaukee man from Massachusetts who died from too much whiskey and leaves me these 3 faces to feed. Millwork ain't easy, millwork ain't hard. Millwork most often is a goddamn awful boring job, and I'm waiting for a daydream to take me through the morning and put me in my coffee break so I can have my sandwich and remember it's me and my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon, and the rest of my life.
They say men can't work on the tanks because it's too monotonous. I think women adjust to the monotony better than men do, because while a man can only think of one thing at a time, a woman can be taking care of a baby and doing something else. It's the same way on the tanks. You get to be automatic in what you're doing and your mind is somewhere else.
My mind begins to wander to my days back on the farm, and I can see my father smiling at me, swinging on his arm, and I can hear my granddad's stories of storms out on Lake Erie, vessels and cargoes, fortunes and sailors' lives were lost. My life has been wasted, and I have been a fool to let this manufacturer use my body for a tool. I get to ride home in the evenings, staring at my hands, swearing by my sorrow that a young girl ought to stand a better chance. And may I work this mill just as long as I am able, and never meet the man whose name is on the label. It's me and my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon gone, and the rest of my life.
Wish you didn't have to work in a factory, but when it's all you know how to do, it's what you do.
An organizer is someone who brings in new members. Try to build an organization that will give people the power to make the changes. I built a fairly solid organization of rural people in Pike County to stop Bethlehem Steel from strip mining. I had to tell people again and again that it's possible to make a difference. See, nobody in their guts really believed it. Nobody believed we could stop Bethlehem. But see, all the people wanted was a park, just a place for their kids. And Bethlehem said, go to hell, we're not giving you a damn thing. So I got 20, 30 people together I saw as leaders and said, let's get that park. They said, we can't. I said, yes, we can. So we wrote letters, we protested, till we finally got on TV. And Bethlehem caved. A couple months later, 4,000 people drove up to watch bulldozers grading down the land to make that park. You see, people became convinced there's not a damn thing they can do. I believe that we have inside of us to make the changes. All human recorded history is like what, 5,000 years old? How many people in that time have made an overwhelming difference? 20? 30? You see, the problem with history is that it's written by college professors about great men. But that's not what history is. History is a hell of a lot of little people, just like you and me, deciding they want a better life for themselves.
If I could have been what I could have been, I could have been something. I
wanted to be a writer.
A Major League Baseball player.
On a little farm.
If what I could be had been left to me, I would have been something.
But then I got married.
But then my dad took sick.
A tower of strength, a center of power, at $10 an hour.
There's always a stumbling block. I was gonna work a few years, buy me a car, head west. Well, then I met the wife. That kind of changed my plans. You never know what you would have did.
If I could have done what I could have done, I could have done big things. With some luck to do what I wanted to, I could have done big things. Swam a few rivers, climbed a few hills, paid all my bills. Now it's just dreams that I'm stuck with, and hell, that ain't a lot to show. I have come from the starting line.
The second act of working will begin in 15 minutes.